So again, that would be taking money out of our pockets. So it's something that concerned me, and I think concerns and those of you in the audience. So it's something to keep an eye on. My hope is that it will be removed when the legislators get their hands on the budget, and that they will also do some state aid. So, and then something that we haven't really touted, but I was, as I'm sure the rest of you are doing on your Saturdays, looking over the fiscal stress reports, school districts. No? Okay. We came out glowing, so thank you to Dr. Cammy in the business office. We had 0 points out of 100. No. Forget the scale. We had 0 points, which is great. You can't get any better than that, and so that's a testament to the last thing. And I'm not actually go back and see what we've been over in the past years, and I forget. But I looked at the numbers, and the numbers past years look strong. Right, they changed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So kudos to the district for the fiscal stress, or the lack of fiscal stress. It was 0. All right. We are now at the first comment period of 2. This first comment period is for agenda items only. So we have comments and questions only about items on the agenda for this evening. The second comment period will be an open comment period, not limited in terms of subject matter, with the exception in both comment periods we do not discuss individual staff members or matters related to individual students here in the public. When you're called on, give us your name, your address, so that we get back in touch with you. If we need to, everyone gets 1 shot to speak during the comment period for no more than 3 minutes, and the total comment period is no more than 30 minutes. When you stand up, if you're called on, please, you don't have to stand up. It's a pretty small crowd. Address your questions to me, and then we'll pass it off if need be to someone who may be more appropriate to answer. So with that, I will open the floor for questions. Yes.
Hi, Trish Wilder, 655 St. Luke's Place. I just want to make a comment. As a teacher in the district, I just want to say how wonderful Darren and Ed have been implementing the technology. 5 years ago, I was not a technology person at all, and they have been so wonderful about slowly introducing the crayons to me. And it's just nice to know that they are willing to come to the building when you need help to, make it meet the needs of your classroom and what you're doing. And I just let the board members should know that they really are fabulous.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, anyone else? Okay. All right, comment period 1 over. Moving on. Board of Education approves personnel actions report dated February 7th, 2018 as addended, as detailed in the Friday mailing. Moved by Mrs. Reed.
Second.
Second by Mrs. O'Hagan. This contains information pertaining to individual staff members which we do not discuss in public. All those in favor?
Aye.
Board of Education approves the recommendations for services of the Committee on Special Education, Sub-CSE 504 Committee, and Committee on Preschool and Special Education for services in October, November, December 2017, and January 2018, as detailed in the Friday mailing. Moved by Mrs. Reed.
Second.
Second by Mrs. Ureska. This contains information pertaining to individual students, so we do not discuss this in public. All those in favor?
Aye.
Board of Education approves the home tutoring and special education service reports as detailed in the Friday mailing. Moved by Mrs. Reed, second by Mrs. Poole. Again, this contains information pertaining to individual students, so we do not discuss this in public. All those in favor?
Aye.
Board of Education approves the budget transfers over $10,000 from October 1, 2017 to December 31st, 2017, as detailed in the Friday mailing. Moved by Mrs. Reed,
Second.
second by Mrs. O'Hagan. Are there any questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
I'm going to make a motion that we table items 2 through 4 and bring them back up at our February 28th meeting. Moved by Mrs. Reed, second by Mrs. Dreska. Are there any questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Board of Education approves the final Smart Schools investment plan as detailed in the Friday memo. Moved by Mrs. Dreska, second by Mrs. Reed. Are there any questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Board of Education approves the agreement with Seneca Consulting Group, Inc. from February 16, 2018 to February 15, 2019 to provide Affordable Care Act consulting services per the pricing and scope of the Board of Cooperative Educational Services of Nassau County. RFP number 2354 in the amount of $12,000 is detailed in the Friday mail. Moved by Mrs. Reed.
Second.
Second by Mrs. O'Hagan. Are there questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Now this one, we're going to just change. So we're going to say the Board of Education approves the agreement with Dan Flores Communications LLC, aka KC, to provide professional services from February 1, 2018 through June 30th, 2018 at a cost not to exceed $35,000 as detailed in the Friday mail. Moved by Mrs. Reed. Second by Mrs. Coles. Are there questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, so now as board president, I'm calling for consideration of the business items in tonight's agenda as consent items. This includes business items 8 through 17, which are special services contracts and obsolete items. Are there any items members would care to withdraw from consideration under the consent agenda for further discussion and a separate vote?
What number?
8 through 17.
That's fine.
Good? All right, so then I need a motion to approve the consent agenda including business items 8 through 17. Moved by Mrs. Coles, second by Mrs. Dreska. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, Board of Education approves the updated use of facilities report.
You have to vote on it. You vote on consent.
We just need a consent.
Oh, sorry, I thought because we didn't discuss it, sorry. Do I have a motion to approve items 6 through 17? 8 through 17, sorry. Moved by Mrs. Reed.
Second.
Second by Mrs. Dreska. All those in favor?
Aye.
Sorry, working out that right. Now, Board of Education approves the updated use of facilities report for July 2017 through June 2018 as detailed in the Friday mail. Moved by Mrs. Reed.
Second.
Second by Mrs. O'Hagan. Are there any questions or comments? All those in favor? Aye. Board of Education approves the calendar for the 2018-19 school year as detailed in the Friday mailing. Moved by Mrs. Reed, second by Mrs. Coles. Are there any questions or comments?
This has been high. Just want you to know, people.
Okay.
I'm not saying anything, but I'm just saying. People will be like, when is it? I'm like, it's not before the board yet.
Are there any other questions?
No.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Board of Education has a first reading of the following policies as detailed in the Friday mailing. Policy 1230, public participation at board meetings. Policy 2270, school returning. Policy 2342, agenda preparation and dissemination. Policy 2350, board meeting procedures. We don't need a motion, right? Anyone have any questions or?
Yes,
Okay.
I do. On the policy regarding the school attorney, policy 2270. Only because we have not traditionally followed this. The opening paragraph says that the president of the board or the superintendent of schools or his or her designee may contact the council on legal matters affecting the operation of the school district. We have traditionally allowed any member of the Board of Education that wish to obtain, since it is the board's council, we have never required that it only be the president. So I don't know if we want to change it, or have further discussion, or nobody agrees, or whatever, but that hasn't been our practice in the past. In the past, you know, any board member who wished to really could contact the attorney.
Did this come from NISBA or?
This is a local policy.
But was there a
Right.
NISBA recommended?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's what
Oh,
I'm saying.
I don't know. But I would just like to ask, check and ask the question if this is.
Well, so this is the first reading, so we can get.
Yes,
yes,
absolutely,
or If this
absolutely.
is a NISBA policy, but does anyone have any comments on?
I think that's an interesting point.
Yeah.
And I think, I know that, during most general business, it usually does go through the president, but there are special cases where someone on the board may need to contact an attorney without going to the president for what, I'm not, God forbid, but I'm just saying, you don't want to have a policy that precludes the ability of somebody in being able to contact an attorney in a case like this.
So the only thing I would suggest you guys consider is, that is true. There are also times when there are so many calls being made and that takes up the bill.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So that's the only thing
Absolutely.
that you want
I
to,
mean, it's the payment on it, so,
yeah.
Absolutely.
So you might want
However,
to consider language that
yes,
kind of
that's what I
takes that,
mean.
like, some language in here that says if, there's any hint of impropriety or
Right.
something like that, that allows other board members to make those calls.
The only reason that it bothered me, I think it's always good to have one channel of communication, just makes it easier on the other end. But what if the issue is the board president and we'll have
That's
a
what I said,
Correct.
if it's something propriety,
Right,
then
right.
you
that's-
have a legal obligation to make that call.
So maybe at least allow that.
I think it maybe should be reworded.
Oh, no. No, because, I was just thinking in terms of, I think my experience on the board with people who, and so, say for example, you want an answer to a question, you're a board member, the board president doesn't think it's something that's important enough to make the call to the attorney. I guess at that point, you bring it up for conversation at the board.
Well, and the part of the problem when we have this as a problem is that people disregard the protocol by which we operate. And so I think it's good to have something enshrined in policy that, kind of just lays it out there, but we've all said, I think Mary Jo brings it nice out there. To have something in there
That allows for, the circumstances in which someone else might wish to.
Right.
Because like if you have anybody who comes new to the board, this might be one of those things that you put in the orientation of you contact the lawyer under these
Circumstances.
So would it be possible for you guys to give us what you think those circumstances are, so we can fill that in?
So I'm wondering along those lines, though, if we do or do not want to limit it to the point where the questions are only about the impropriety or president.
Oh, of course, I didn't mean that it should only be that.
Right, but that, because if someone is just, every day calling the attorney for whatever
Yeah.
reason, it really should be that, the rest of the board maybe, or at least the board president maybe should be made aware of the contacts that are going on. Because if so, I mean, if a board member is contacting the attorneys and not telling anyone else, there's a problem there.
Absolutely.
That's not being addressed, so I don't know how we.
I don't
think
either,
about
but I
that.
think it might be worth looking at the policies that other districts have or
Mm.
checking with the attorneys to see what, the guidelines are.
Okay.
And my other question was about the agenda preparation and dissemination, 2342. The second paragraph, I'm not sure that we follow that either. We have been more flexible than that. Any board member may request that an item be placed on the agenda for board consideration by contacting the board president or superintendent 6 business days prior to the meeting.
So no, six,
Bus-
generally is business.
Business days prior to the meeting. We can keep it like that, but we haven't been as rigid as that. We haven't.
I mean, would it be even to have, if we're talking about putting, I mean, it has to be done before the agenda summit, it's not.
Which is why the sixth actually works, it's a couple of days before the agenda. Right, so agenda setting is usually Thursday, so it's Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, that's five. So that, the Wednesday.
Okay,
I mean, you know, it's complicated,
okay.
But
Yeah, we
if,
have-
but if you
can't
don't,
bring
then,
something
I was
up
gonna
there.
say, but if you can still always bring it up under other.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
So that's
And that's, well, yes, that's not on the agenda, that's my point. That it's
Right.
not, it's, you can bring it up under other,
Okay.
but it's not technically part of the agenda.
Right.
But that's fine, if everybody feels that that's enough of a notice, then.
Okay, were you thinking no longer notice?
I was thinking of it less prescriptive.
Not actually putting a timetable, assigned to it.
Or fewer than, you know, more than, fewer than kind of thing, but
But if it's less than 6 days, we miss the agenda setting.
yes. I'm just bringing it up as a
We could just
question.
say prior to agenda setting.
Yes, I don't know.
Does everybody know when that is?
But again, I would like to look at the, you know, what the process is in other places too. You know, as far as agenda, you know, things on the agenda. Really what- This is a local policy, so I don't know whether it's been, it was something that school boards has, you know, sent in.
You would check with me.
Let's find this one out, check with you, who's by any attorney.
All right, so that was our first reading. Board of Education adopts the following policies. This is adopting policies as detailed in the Friday mailing. Policy 5100, student attendance. Policy 5151, homeless children. Moved by Mrs. Reed, second by Mrs. Pools. We've had readings on this, but are there any questions or comments? All those in favor? Aye. Okay, the Board of Education approves the following resolution. Be it resolved that upon reviewing the decision of the superintendent of schools made on January 3rd, 2018, and an appeal letter dated January 27th, 2018, the decision of the superintendent of schools in the matter of JM is hereby sustained in all respects. Moved by Mrs. Reed, second by Mrs. O'Hagan. This involves the matter related to students. We cannot discuss this in public, so no comments or questions. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed or abstaining?
Abstain.
One abstention. Okay, does anyone have anything they want to bring up under other?
So, we have this
We're gonna put that on
for next time.
that
Oh.
motion.
We're putting an agenda item on a resolution. A resolution.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
I thought we had to discuss it.
I just spoke to everyone.
Oh.
Well, not, well, no. We'll put a resolution on March 15th. You guys
You go.
Yeah, I think that's it.
But this is like, huh?
Yeah, yeah, we're gonna talk about it.
Okay.
Which then is that,
Is the budget? Oh.
All right, before we do this time, we open up for our second comment period. I'm going to read some important dates. So this meeting was originally scheduled for next Wednesday, so we don't have to come back, we're not going to use again. So that meeting is canceled. I'm not coming here on Valentine's Day.
Stuff in trouble.
Yeah. Schools are closed for winter recess from Monday, February 19th through Friday, February 23rd. We have Board of Education Budget Work Session, Wednesday, February 28th, 8 PM, right here in the district office. Sports Night Week is coming up there, the week of March 3rd. Lots of activities there, so keep an eye out for that. Almost spring concert season. Goodness.
No.
It is.
It's on tomorrow.
Yeah. And our next regular Board of Education meeting is Wednesday, March 14th at 8 PM at Meadow School. That's that. Okay, so. So now we have reached the time for our second comment and question period. As I mentioned earlier, there is no limit in terms of the topics here, with the exception of we don't discuss individual students or staff members. Same rules apply. You get 3 minutes to speak each person. The comment period is no more than 30 minutes total. Address your questions to me, give us your name and address, we can get back in touch with you. And address your questions to me. The rules apply. So with that, I will open up the floor for questions or comments.
Thomas Riley, President Baldwin Little League, Vice President of Baldwin Babe Ruth League, Baldwin, 999 Church Street. I just want to bring to the board's attention an issue that we've been having with the facility use here and the permit process as to the gym in this facility. Sunday became a pretty big issue for us in that we have the permit for a winter workout for our conditioning, 9 to 12. And when we got here with our kids, there was a basketball tournament going on with hundreds of people in the gym, so we weren't allowed to use the facility. This has been an issue because for the use of that gym, we rarely ever get permits in the winter. We have two. We have the Sunday morning and a Thursday from 5 to 6:30. The rest of the permits are given to PAL. Unlike the spring where the fields, there's a meeting for the permits for all the fields, for all the leagues. There is no meeting for permits for the use of this facility. So whenever we put in our permits, we never get them because the PALs got those permits. So I wanted to bring that to the attention of the board and see if moving forward we can change the permit process for the use of the gym here so that it's an equal opportunity for all the youth programs in Baldwin. There's our organizations, the Baldwin Bombers, the Eagles, the soccer clubs. There's plenty of organizations that have access to that gym. There's maybe 2 days a week, and that's if we're lucky. So I just want to see if we can change the process moving forward and have a similar permit process as we do for the fields in the spring for the gym here over the winter for next season and moving forward.
You fill out a permit for the gym, you don't get an approval back, it's not part of like the same facilities process?
We do, we put in permits
Right,
and we've always been denied because somebody else has a permit, which is the PAL. And we put them in, I believe the permits went in September
right,
for the use during the winter, which was probably end of November, beginning of December, and only use we had was from 5 to 6:30, which,
on Thursday.
parents have a tough time getting here by 5, and Sunday morning. Everything else was
Sunday
denied.
morning that it was being utilized.
Well, correct. The past Sunday, PAL took our spot, so instead of kicking out hundreds and hundreds of people, we gave it up, but we shouldn't have to do that, especially with the limited use that we're given at this point.
So we just got a letter today, this afternoon. The board
Yes.
has not had a chance to see that, we just received it. That's something that you'll get in your Friday mailing.
Okay,
Thank you.
and we'll have a chance to,
Thank you.
we'll have a chance to have do some research.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll look into that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Robert Oliveri, I'm the president of the Baldwin Babe Ruth and the president of the Baldwin Bombers. Just to add on that with a little history, going back years, back when Dr. Chapman or even Dr. Lanzaro were here and Mike Sheehan was director of buildings and grounds, we were always informed that every other organization in town, whether it be Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, Babe Ruth, Eagles, Little League, every organization was allowed to file for a permit for Tuesday evenings and one weekend per month. The other 25 days a month, the exclusive use of the building was for PAO. Last September, we went to the superintendent's office and we filed it's called the FOIL, Freedom of Information Act, and they looked into they went back in the minutes into the history of the board to see if they could find anything, and nothing was found in writing based on what I just said as far as the rules of filing for this building. So in September of this year, we filed for permits for Tuesday evening, and I believe either Tuesday and Thursday evenings to run a winter clinic like we do every year. We do have eye hooks along the wall in that gym and nets onto the stage rather than renting facilities. On Tuesdays we come and we set up the nets, and the 70 so kids that we have in the program come through in different times and they hit in that gym. I filed it in September, which was well within the 45-day period. I was then told that the only time we can get was the Sunday morning spot or a 5 to 6:30 spot, because PAO already put permits in for every other day of the week, which includes Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, all day Saturday, and the rest of the day on Sunday. So our parents have to try to get there at 5 o'clock to be out by 6:30, and then come early on Sunday morning to be out by 12. This Sunday we show up, like we do every Sunday since January 7th, and PAO had a basketball all-star game in there. And their answer was, we're not moving our kids because we've lost a lot of time in gym space because of snow dates. That's really not our issue that they have cancellations. We have our kids that are waiting to come in. So my problem with that is, if they followed the 45-day procedure and put in for a Sunday, last Sunday, they would have been declined or rejected and told that we already had the gym. Instead, they just assumed, like they always do, that it's our gym, we'll just schedule something. Too bad. They obviously didn't have a permit because we have it in our hand. So they obviously did not go through the proper procedure, but they're still allowed to use a gym whenever they want. We pay a mortgage, electric, rental fees for the building on Church Street. We have a lot of overhead where they're in here at no expense, except probably a phone bill. Their registration fees therefore can be a lot lower because they have no overhead. We have to rent batting cages twice a week for kids to go and hit because we cannot get in here. There's just a lot of issues. They have the trophy case displaying all their awards. They have a banner on the gym with all their registration and all their programs that they run. There's no Little League banner in there. There's no banner in there for the summer program. There's no Baldwin Bomber banner in there. So why do they have exclusive use of this building, where for the couple times we put in permits, we either get rejected or the answer I get is, let me call PAL and see if they're in there. Shouldn't have to call PAL, it's not PAL's gym. It's a school district's gym, we're entitled to it the same way they are. And this Sunday, it kind of came to a head. We had to stand out in the street and send all our families home, because we wanted to do the right thing and not walk in the gym and say, hey, everybody has to leave in the middle of the game. We didn't want to be that guy.
All right, so let's look, we can get information on that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm curious what the mix up was in terms of. Yeah, okay.
My name's Eddie Sale, 555 Baldwin Avenue. It's not that it's coming ahead, they have the entitlement of the gym. I've coached PAL, I coached the Baldwin Royals, I've helped them all. They have that entitlement. As working with them, they're like, don't worry about it, we'll just take the gym ahead before there, and they have to figure it out. It's unfair to the kids, because if you schedule something, the parents, my wife works in Manhattan, I work for the county. If we come trying to figure a way to get to the kids here at the program, I'm picking up, they'll tell you, I pack up 3 or 4 kids in my car to go to, and he'll tell me, now you gotta go home. Now I gotta spend another 45 minutes driving around, dropping your kids off. And the parents like, what happened, coach? I know the program shut down today. And it's a little frustrating as a coach and as a parent, you know, and they'll sit there, and they don't have that thought of what's gonna happen on the outcome. You know, we'll just pack the gyms early, and they'll figure it out. You know, it's a little unfair and frustrating as a parent, as a coach.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right,
thank
we're
you.
gonna get some, yeah, we'll get some information.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. Seeing no one here, we need to move into exec session. All right, so I need a motion to exec session to discuss matters related to contract with personnel.
So moved.
By Mr. Reed.
Second.
By Mrs. Maresco, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we're going to go into exec session, so thank you all for coming.
Thanks so much. Have a good day.